Worst shape my entire life. I've been through Ranger School, Delta Force selection twice, 3 hell weeks, all this crap. To this day, I'm 43 years old right now. Did 21 years in the military. I've done 60 ultra races, pull-up records, all kind of stuff. But this is when I had to realize one thing. I had to break this humongous thing down to very small. All I put in my mind was, let's not quit yet. I'm gonna quit, but not yet. So I sat there, I can't stand up, so let's get some nutrition. And so I wasn't doing this and activating those stress fractures. I'm not dizzy anymore. Let me clean this crap off me, okay? I need some food. I'm gonna quit after I eat the peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So I ran on my hip flexors. Let me see if I can stand up. Stand up, maybe I'll quit. There's the car, it's a 1 mile track. I'll walk past the car, I'm just gonna get back to the chair. I'm not gonna quit yet. I kept this mindset the whole time. I ended up doing 30 more miles. Did 31 miles, truly, after that. I did 101 miles in 19 hours. If you're driving the car may say 130 miles an hour. The factory puts a governor on it, so you only go 91. So you're sitting there when to race somebody, they have no governor. They're fine. Boom. You can't, because every time you get to 91, the car starts doing this. Starts doing this. We put a governor on our brain, and the second we get to that governor, our bodies start doing this. Oh, this sucks. This is uncomfortable. No, 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 no. If you have the answers to those questions of why the hell am I out here, and you give it a quick answer, the brain starts shutting up because it knows why we're doing what we're doing. I started figuring these things out in my life. So we have this governor on our brain, and how you start pushing past that governor, start realizing your brain has the tactical advantage over you. Why? Because it knows your insecurities. It knows when you're lying, it knows your fears, it knows everything about you. And whenever those things start, like right now, I'm scared to death up here. Why? When I was in 6th grade, I was in a play. And I stood up in front of a whole bunch of white people that probably didn't, I was being judged in my mind. Scared the shit out of me. And I stuttered severely bad. I knew I stuttered bad. My line was this long. It was like hello or some shit. And I stood up for everybody, I was like this. And I walked off stage. So when I walk up in front of 1,200 people, it's still there. My mind's telling me, go, run off the stage. I have to tell my mind something different. I have to remember my resume, what I've been through, that all of you in here are just as fucked up as me. We post our real life, never on Instagram. We post the life that we want to have out there. That's not me anymore. I'm gonna tell you exactly about me, who I am. That's how you get better. That's how you fix yourself. That's how you grow. I'm gonna move on real quick to the very end of my story. I could be up here for a long time, but I need some questions. I did everything I talked about up here. I ran 205 miles. I ran 7,000 miles in 2007 to raise $2 million for Special Operations Warrior Foundation. Thank you. I did it all with a hole in my heart, the size of a dime. So basically, I was sick as hell, and I didn't get into all of this. Once again, all these stories in my book with all these takeaways that I have that, I'm not a theorist, people. There's a bunch of people who are theorists who go to the library, study the mind. They study it in a book. I studied it by being a practitioner. I put my mind in hell, and I realized how it was thinking. And I figured out tools and tactics on how to get through it. By being in it, not by studying it, by being in it. And literally, that's how I started callousing over. So I did, I did 67,000 pull-ups in 9 months, and it calloused my hands. It calloused my hands real good to protect my hands against the bar. I started learning how to callous my mind, to callous over my victim's mentality. And that's what I did. Life isn't fair at all. At all. So what are you gonna do about it? I knew that no one was coming back to help me. No one was gonna miracle me to be somebody special. My dad, my mom, all my situations were on me now. And solely on me. So I had to start developing an indestructible mental toolbox. So I sat there on that couch and I realized, man, I am a piece of shit. And even though the world helped me get here, my false reality helped me even more. And listening to somebody else's dialogue further helped me get here. So I sat there and I had this bright idea, being 297 pounds, to go be a Navy SEAL. So the bright idea happens, 297, I watched this show. I finished my chocolate milkshake and I said I'm gonna be a Navy SEAL. So now the next 2 weeks I'm calling these recruiters up. And then so these guys are used to getting studs that want to be a Navy SEAL, not a 297-pound fat guy. So I'm calling the guys up, hey man, I want to be a Navy SEAL. Okay, blah, 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 blah. We get to the last question, how much do you weigh? 297, doubt him. Call somebody else. This went on for 2 weeks. So I call a guy named Steven Saljo. Last guy, I was giving up. Steven Saljo was so busy, Navy recruiter, said, come on in, I don't have time to talk to you. So I'm driving in after work, chocolate milkshake in hand. I put my shake down. He looks at me and says, please don't tell me that you are David Goggins. I said, yeah, man, I got right here in my shirt, Goggins. He said, yeah, I'm being a smart ass. And he goes, man, you're fat and you're black. I said, man, you're an observant motherfucker. Sorry, I cussed a little bit because my life was hard. So I don't want to water it down. I'm real. You have to go back in there, in that muck, face that muck, fix that. Because what happens is, when I was in Navy SEAL training, one of my jobs was to train guys to get through Navy SEAL training. And when I started realizing that I was training these guys, they were getting bigger, stronger, faster, all this other stuff. But they would still quit. All I was doing was building bigger, stronger, faster quitters. I started down. I was like, what the hell am I doing wrong, man? I was changing all the external crap. I wasn't going into the internal and changing what really matters. So that's what the first step is, and I talk about it a lot in my book about how, like, the steps about doing that, man. But the first step you have to do is face yourself and be accountable for what you're not. So then you can be what you want to be. But first, face what you're not. So I like Gary Vee, but I'm not tripling down on strengths. I'm tripling down on weaknesses. Well, the biggest thing, I like what you're saying, because my big saying is motivation is crap. Right now, a lot of you right now can be motivated as hell, go out of here and be like, yeah, I'm motivated. Like you said, you're right. Without being driven or obsessed, this motivation fades. And motivation is at the all-time high when your bills are paid, when your wife or husband is good, when everything is good, you're motivated. It's that person when all hell breaks loose and everything falls apart that says, I still got to get it in. And how you get to that point in life, what I figured out, it's so noisy right now. This world is so noisy. We all walk around with these phones, computers. The world is so fast. We're not able to think. The most powerful weapon in the world, we walk around with it. It's our mind, it's our brain. You have to be able to go into a very dark place in your mind and figure who you are. Go back to what you want to do, what's your purpose. We can't figure our purpose out or why we're here or why we're even born or whatever, because it's so loud in our mind. We don't have any quiet time with ourselves to sit back and say, what do I really want? There's so many different dialogues in our head that we can't think. So my biggest thing is you have to be alone in a very dark place in your mind to think about what is important to you.